I'm going back into the archives to 15-minute meals. There's some beautiful things in here. I really like the style of photography, over the top. A really nice global collection of recipes. This one we're gonna do is sizzling beefsteak with hoisin prawn and noodle bowls. Fancy that? 4 portions in 15 minutes. So my team have asked me to recreate that just to double check that it can be done in 15 minutes, which it can be, by the way. We're very strict. But look, super excited about this. It brings back lovely, lovely memories. This was a super popular book. Obviously people want delicious fast food. And then, oh, that was 12, 13 years ago, I only had 3 kids. I had so much more energy and so much more time and so much more patience. But let's do it. Let's do it. Let's bring up the clock. Let's bring up the clock now. So as per usual, and I did this in the title sequence of the show, like, you know, get your stuff out. Let's get ready and raring to go. I'm not going to use a wok. I'm going to use a large frying pan. So let's whack that onto a high heat. And I've got some boiling water straight out the kettle. I think in the show I just put the kettle on so it was a bit more authentic, but I've cheated with boiling water. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go. First job. Look, we want to create a lovely dish that's exciting, colourful, dynamic, soft, crunchy, sweet, sour, texture. So part of the journey is actually the end, the garnish, and not garnish for sort of looking at, a garnish that enriches the dish. So some peanuts, to be honest, it could be any nuts that you really fancy. So these are peanuts. You could use almonds, pistachios, play with it. It doesn't really matter. Let's toast these up. Just to help the toasting happening, you know, just a little bit of oil, just to kind of get those fats going. So we want that to just toast up, get a little bit golden. Let's just talk through what we've got so you know what we're doing. And you can tell this is, you know, fairly chilled, right? So pestle and mortar, the cheapest gadget. Well, it's not the cheapest, it's 2 bits of rock, right? It's the oldest gadget. So it will never break, you don't have to plug it in. So we can use that for marinades, dressings, smashing up nuts, right? Sprinkles. This represents cooking. When that's happening, good things are happening, right? So I think the energy of 15-minute meals was kind of like, use your senses, you know, use your smell, like get home from work, you're a bit tired, your taste buds want something electric and exciting, little handful of sesame seeds. I'm a massive lover of nuts and seeds at home. Really good, heart-healthy fats. You know, there's some amazing research that says how people can live a couple of years longer, you know, and it's better for heart disease and all that by having a little handful of nuts every day. Gold, right? Garnish, happy days. Veg, mushrooms galore. Any mushrooms, I've got oysters. Noodles, 1 per portion. We're doing 4, happy days. The classic sort of base flavors, ginger, garlic, lime, that will come later, some spring onions, some coriander. Predictable, but really efficient. We've got some bean sprouts, which I love. We'll cook those. I've got some frozen prawns that are defrosted. By the way, if you want to do frozen prawns quickly, put them in a bowl, run a little cold water on it, they'll defrost. Super quick, in a colander, happy days. Oh, and by the way, some steaks, little minute steaks. So actually, 2 fairly sort of like skinny steaks, minute steaks, between 4 people. So this is really about making beautiful things go a long way. Stretching food, dynamic food. In the pan, I know it looks like not much is happening, but you know, I've introduced the dish. You can see we've got a little bit of color there, right? So that's good, I'm good with that, I'm down with that. So into the pestle we go. Let's use a little cloth to get all of my bits of sesame seed in there as well. So I will pound those up when they've cooled down a little bit. Some will stay in shape, some will kind of go to a little powder. So now we're back to the pan. So I'm going to go to Japan now. I used to work in Japan, loved it. Cuisine, culture, extraordinary. And one of the little revelations I had in Japan was they would take mushrooms and they would dry grill or dry fry these. And that really stuck with me because what I realized from the clever Japanese is that often in the Mediterranean, and certainly in British culture, mushrooms, oil, butter, lard. It's getting fatty, these are absorbent. But like, the Japanese weren't doing that. Well, I'm sure they do, but in some recipes. But they were dry grilling, or dry frying, as I call it, mushrooms. Really interesting. So what's good about that? Okay, Caramelization is going to happen without fat, interesting. This exaggeration, this amplification of nuttiness happens. That doesn't happen with butter. You get sweetness and depth and umami. But nuttiness is kind of a cool thing, right? So I'm going with that, right? So in we go with the mushrooms, like that. Just press them down. They'll steam internally and they'll just caramelize on the outside. Really nice. So as that does its little thing there, I'm gonna season up these steaks. Very, very simple seasoning. Fairly nice seasoning with salt, pepper, and then a key little ingredient, if you haven't got it, go get it, you should all have it, is Chinese or Thai 5-spice or 7-spice. It's a really beautiful blend of different sort of aromatic spices. You can get it in all of the supermarkets, all of them, and it just basically means that you can bring lamb chops, pork chops, chicken breasts, even like a piece of cod to life. You can put it in broths and stews. You can do beautiful things, right? So just give that a nice, generous rub with that spice. And what I find it does is when you pan sear it in a hot pan, like you get this bark, like a tree bark, this dark, mysterious, like spice on the outside. And of course, on the inside, you've just got the purity of deliciously, I mean, I'm gonna go kind of medium rare unless I overcook it by mistake, which I might do because, you know, I'm yapping and you're filming. Come and have a little look at this. Let's see if we've got any caramelization happening that's interesting. Look, okay, so look, you can see. Caramelization beginning to happen with no fat at all. So dry frying, so incredibly healthy. So again, what I love about this technique, whether it's on a barbecue, over wood, over charcoal, even in a dry pan, is we get nutty flavors. So that's the same with asparagus. It's the same with things like spring onions, little slices of fennel, mushrooms. So there's no fat changing or kind of breaking down. It's just pure like veg and steam. Then when it comes off, dress it. Good olive oils, good citrus, good vinegars, good herbs. As a philosophy, as a thought, right? So this is a cool little principle, and we haven't even started cooking yet. So what next? Okay, let's get chopping. Spring onions, good or bad, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna just slice up spring onions, 2 or 4, it doesn't really matter, right? So just do whatever. Chili, I love chili, I really do. And I've trained my kids to love chili, so that's nice. Just break all of that up, put that into a little pile. I think it's nice. So this is a 15-minute meal. I guess the emotion is, oh, you know, I've got home, it's 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm tired, maybe I'm stressed. Did I have a good day? Did I have a bad day? Who knows? You know, the kids, I might come and help Jules, put the kids to bed, bath them, that kind of vibe. But the idea, like in a world where everyone is ordering like Deliveroo, Just Eat, like it's never cheap, is it? Even cheap junk food, like when you buy it for 4 people, it's never cheap. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the fact that actually, probably if you're gonna buy something comparative for 4 people, probably it's gonna cost twice as much as you buying it, right? The fact that you can make your food and you're putting love into it is kind of cool. I've got ginger here. Ginger, nice thumb-sized piece. I'm just going to use the knife just to scrape it like that. You can slice it and you can chop it. It doesn't really matter. I love ginger. It's hot, it's fragrant, it's therapeutic, it's so good for you. This one's got a little minging black bit, so I'll cut that out, but that's life, isn't it? Sometimes you have a little minging bit. So that goes there. So I'm guessing we're about halfway through. Let's have a look in the pan. Can you see how these mushrooms, just come and see how they've shrunk. So just think about it. What's the context of shrinking? Something getting smaller, concentration, amping up flavor, right? So let's now take that, right? Let's put it back in the bowl that it once came from. Pan's gone on, it's still clean, right? I haven't even got to do any washing up, right? So normally, if I wasn't yapping to you, I might have a little glass of wine. Normally, if I wasn't yapping to you, I might have some tunes on. Normally, if I wasn't yapping to you, probably River would have set light to something or exploded something or something's come smashing through the window. So I might have to reprimand him. Naughty step again. So, you know, life. That's why you need delicious food in your life. So chop up the ginger any old how. I don't care how you chop it up, like brunoise it, slice it, matchstick it, finely chop it, don't care. I just don't care. If you think I don't care, you do whatever you like. So look, flavour base there. I'm gonna use olive oil. Use whatever oil you want. I have olive oil, that's what I do. So I'm gonna take our lovely steak and I'm gonna just drag it through the fat. Yeah, it's not going to take long to cook. So we've got that going. I've got some garlic here. So 2 or 4 garlic cloves. I'm slicing it. What I did on 15-minute meals, it became a little bit of a thing. I actually used a Jamie Oliver garlic crusher. Oh, wow, wow. And I was like, just get a garlic. Where's the garlic clove? I'm sure I saw it there. There it is. Get a garlic clove. And I just put it in like this. And then basically I showed them that you didn't have to peel it. You could just basically push it out like that, which it did, right? So, and everyone's like, it doesn't work. I said, get a Jamie Oliver one. Subtle push. Yeah, fair enough. Look, about 1.5 minutes each side. Can you see how dark that is? Angle that fat. It's hot, it's aggressive. Those spices, that seasoning, you know, it's doing good things. It's not in the recipe, but I've got lime. Whenever I see lime, I get excited. Give it a roll. That encourages the oils in the skin. You can see it's already making it shiny. Take some of that. I've got a fine grater. Just put some of that zest. It's just flavour for free. You know, it'll just wake up your taste buds. I'll take a little bit of coriander. Stalks. I'll just finely, roughly chop up the stalks. Keep that for garnish. So look, we're sort of heading towards 4 minutes. I've got my lime. Noodles haven't gone in yet. I think I'm going to take the steak off. I want them a little bit under. So as these steaks rest, I'm going to put them onto the mushrooms here. So if they're going to rest anywhere, I don't want to waste that resting juice, right? So they'll rest there. Here, in this fat, we'll go in with the garlic. We'll go in with the ginger. Go in with the chilli. Like, I don't care what order you do it in. I don't care, right? I've got some spring onions. Just give it a little toss. Of course, if I had a wok, I'd use one. But I've got a nice big pan. I'll go in with the spring onions. And I'll go in with the noodles. So in we go there, pan, and I'll put a bit of salt in there as well, which is nice. As I toss this up, just go in with the coriander stalks, and I've even got time to have a little clean down. So, lovely board. Take this over here. Actually, salad, any old salad. In the recipe, I think it was romaine lettuce, but anything you can get, and some radishes. I'll take some radishes, like that. And some cheap old egg and cress. So I'll just take my knife and finely slice the radishes. You can use vinegar, or you can use lime if you want, just to kind of give them a bit of a pickle vibe. So just a little squeeze like that is nice. Bit of salt. So you got that there. You can pound up the lovely nuts and sesame seeds, which is lovely. We'll toss this pan and we'll go straight in with prawns and the bean sprouts. So we'll give that a nice little toss around. I love this. The old-fashioned egg and cress. Egg sandwich, right? So that's part of our garnish world. Love that. So toss this up. That's looking good. Now I'm going to use soy sauce to taste. We're going to go like a couple of tablespoons, maybe 3, of hoisin. Goes in. Mix that up. The noodles are nearly there. While that's doing its magic, I'm going to lay out my bowls like that. I'm going to take the steak and just slice it through like that, nice and fine. Look how nicely that's cooked. Beautiful. Let's take some of this lettuce. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get some more of that. Looks lovely. Anything crunchy that you can get your hands on that we're going. And for my team, just shout out when we've got to 15 minutes because I want to keep it real. We're pretty much getting there now. Mushrooms go in. We're going to go in now. The time is now. 15 minutes is up, my lovely people. So you can disqualify me for being a minute over. I mean, I have been talking to you lot after all. But look, in with the noodles. All I do now is just adjust the seasoning here, right? Toss this up. Lime juice, salt, pepper, soy. Soy to taste. You didn't see that. But this is life. Go in with those hot, beautiful noodles. Look at those lovely mushrooms. It's gorgeous. And look, we're going to feed 4 people here. So drag those noodles in like that. Nice. I love it. Hot, steamy noodles is my thing. Spice. Hoisin's just a great little cheat. Such a wonderful little flavour combination. So let's just go. I'm rinsing it now. I'm probably 16 minutes. So you can get me for like, you know, promising the 15, but I'm pretty happy with that. To make TV and yap to you lot is all good. We're going to take that steak. Look at that, prawns, mushrooms, steaks. It just looks great. And divide that up across the portions there. I was a bit generous there. But look, if you've got kids and family that like bigger or smaller things, it's all good. We'll have our little wedge of lime to squeeze over the top. Joy, joy, joy. I really love using the cresses. So that retro cress, just a little pinch here and there is beautiful. The coriander tops, mint, basil, coriander, freshness, joy, optimism, healthiness. Like for me, that embodied this book. I know, right, I'm a minute and a half over. I apologise. But, you know, I promise you I can do them in 15 minutes when I'm not working. But that's it, guys. Delicious home-cooked food. Food that's alive. Food that's got flavour. That's what it's all about. I love it. This is the kind of food that makes me really, really happy. Look, we got the little semi-pickled radishes. Look at the colour, guys, colour. So cooking doesn't have to be boring. This, without question, will be cheaper than getting a takeaway, right? Takeaways are super convenient, but you know deep down once you've finished it, you feel guilty and it's cost a fortune. And yeah, I love a takeaway, but like, if you can do it better yourself, it was fun to do. It's fun to do. And look, we've got this to wash up. It's not the end of the world. Lovely people. Seared beef with noodles and all those lovely things. Hopefully, I hope you got a bit of love and soul and a little bit of excitement from that. And I hope you can do that in your home and give this to someone that you love. So let me just take this washing up over and then time to eat. So that's the 15-minute meal vibe, right? Let's have a little try up. A beautiful piece of beef. That Chinese 5-spice is brilliant. It's really interesting, really joyful. Come, let's get in there. So there you go. Celebrations of 25 years since The Naked Chef. There he is, a little bit younger, a little bit more energy. 15-minute meals. Enjoy. Lots of love, guys. People often presume that to have a restaurant quality meal, you've got to put hours and hours of work in, and it's not the case. I've been working on the most delicious recipe. This is a midweek meal that is so fresh and delicious, and it looks amazing. It's a 10-minute meal, and it's a lovely piece of cod. I've got lovely seasonal asparagus, and we're making an amazing version of a hollandaise, and it's embracing the much-loved avocado. This is a hollandaise like you've never seen before. Really easy, no splitting, and when you see it all together, I think you're gonna love it. And it's healthy as well, full of colour. So first up, normally with a classic hollandaise, you'd have vinegar or lemon juice, and you'd kind of fragrance that with herbs, black peppercorns and stuff like that. So I'm gonna kind of go down that alley, right? I'm gonna take spring onions instead of shallots, and I'll just take the green part and just slice that up like that and put that into a pan. I'm then gonna add the juice of half a lemon straight into there and a little swig of white wine vinegar. So that's going to give you the tang and acidity that works so well with fish. So lemon juice goes in, catch any pips, like that. A pinch of black pepper. I'll take a little salt as well. And then I'm going to add a little kiss of water, about 100 millilitres, and we're just going to let that infuse. So that'll come up to the boil. We don't need any more time than that. Let's just talk about the hollandaise. It's a classic French sauce. It's a fundamental sauce. And it's golden, it's silky, it's delicious. And it's all about emulsifying egg yolks with fat, butter. It can split when you're making it, if you're not really careful. And it can split when you keep it warm, when you're doing your dinner parties. So I'm gonna take all of that away. Please do not stress. Now, normally, when you do a hollandaise, what you would do is get your egg yolks and beat it and whisk it over a bain-marie, which is a little pot of boiling water, and then add your clarified butter, okay, along with this, right? I'm gonna simplify it much, much more. So I'm gonna take the egg, and the egg yolk I'll put straight into this little liquidizer. At the same time, I'm gonna take our source of fat. We're not using butter, we're gonna use avocado, a nice, ripe avocado. So simply get a knife, cut it very carefully down to the stone, and then just click it out like that. You can give it a little tap with a knife, stone comes out, and take that beautiful, vivid green avocado out, and that goes in. And actually, the texture and fibre in the avocado really stabilises the whole thing. It takes the risk out. The herb, I'm gonna keep, you know, pretty classic with some lovely tarragon. Now, the truth is, you can have fun with this. If you wanted to do mint or basil or parsley or marjoram, you can. Tarragon has got that aniseed kind of flavour, which is very good with asparagus and fish. 3 or 4 sprigs go in. I'll put that to one side. As soon as that water, lemon and vinegar has come to the boil, we're good to go. We'll go into our blender, very carefully get all those lovely bits of spring onion. Try and use a nice white wine vinegar. It does really make a difference. So no more whisking, right? No more vulnerability, no more possibility of splitting. And although I'll be banned from France for life for doing this recipe, it is a really clean, beautiful, silky, elegant sauce. Look at that colour. Vivid green, silky smooth. So give it a nice little wazz up, and that's it. That's the sauce done. Look at this, guys. This would be the bit where normally you're worried about splitting it. It's delicious, really, really good. I'll adjust the seasoning, very important, and I'll put just a little extra boiling water in this just to adjust the consistency to your liking. So I'll just buzz this up just to make it a little bit lighter. The colour is just amazing. Look at that. The perfume from the tarragon and the tang of the vinegar and the lemon juice is going to be so good with the fish. Now you can serve this hot, warm, or even room temperature, okay? So I'm going to keep it just warm for the moment. So that's the first part of the recipe, very simple. The next bit, which is kind of the end of the recipe, we're going to cook the fish and asparagus. So we'll get that on full whack in the same pan, and we're going to steam. So steaming is a beautiful, elegant, very healthy, clean method of cooking, right? And I think it's particularly good with fish. So I'm gonna add just a centimetre of water to a pan and bring that to the boil. Now, I'm gonna cook some lovely white fish. I've got 2 portions of cod here. Now, you could have pollock, megrim, whatever is sustainable, whatever is local. You know, you can have real fun with this, but what I have to do in this steaming method is cook the asparagus at the same time as the fish. So this is about 4 minutes, right? I reckon that's gonna take about 5 minutes. So you can control how quickly your fish cooks by how you choose to cut it. And it's as simple as cut it in half. Now, when I steam that, that's 4 minutes. That's gonna cook at the same time as that. And this asparagus is beautiful. It's really nice seasonal veg. What I want to do is take that woody end off. Now this, don't throw away. This makes the most amazing soup. A stew, fantastic in broths, or you can even compost it. We should all be composting. And this asparagus will now go on the bottom of the pan and become a trivet for putting the fish on top. I want to season the cod with some salt all over. I don't want to do it with pepper because I want it to stay pearly white and clean. So put your fish like that, boom, boom. How beautiful is that? And then lid on top. So we're boiling on the bottom and we're steaming on the top. This is gonna be amazing. 4 minutes, that's it, 4 minutes, couple of minutes. Mate, we're doing really well. So let's do kind of what you would call a garnish. Let me just wash my hands and clean my knife. So I'll take these 2 white parts of the base of 2 spring onions, cut them in half, and try and use your best knife skills just to slice them up as thin as you can. Now, a nice little tip here is if you get some iced water, these will all curl up and go extra crunchy. And that will apply to anything crunchy you want to slice up. It could be a radish, it could be a chili, it could be even herbs. Literally just water and a few ice cubes is all you need. And now I just want to pick a few leaves of that tarragon. Tarragon is the main driver of flavour in that sauce. Just sort of helps finish it off really nicely. Give that a little mix. Now, I can't help myself but to put a little bit of chilli in there as well. Just a couple of bits of chilli, but you can see, look at the colours. Just gorgeous. And guys, that's it. Look how simple this is to plate up, right? Plate, sauce, couple of tablespoons goes on. Just use the back of the spoon just to kind of move it around a little bit. Then the fish comes off, right? It's done. Lid. Look at the lovely chunks of cod. Be delicate with them. And get your lovely asparagus. And place this like that on top. And this probably feels more pedantic than I would normally do, but I don't care because I'm kind of excited. Place the fish on top. Some of this lovely spring onion, chilli and tarragon, and just whip off the cold water. And we'll just kind of hold that on top like that. And that's it. And even if you do this badly and roughly, it will be beautiful. Really fresh, really healthy, really vivacious. A little kiss of lovely olive oil. And that is a beautiful, beautiful dish. In the middle of the week, come on, darling, want a little bit of lunch? There you go. Oh, what's that? Oh, I've got a nice little avocado hollandaise. Oh, what you been doing now? Oh, yeah, seconds. Lovely steamed fish and asparagus. Oh, you must have worked so hard. Seconds. Well, minutes. So there we go. I think it's fresh, it's really healthy, and super beautiful. Just look at that. Right, let's get in there. Let's just get the perfect little mouthful. Bit of asparagus, bit of sauce. Let's have a little bit of tarragon. You still get that richness from the avocado. The tang from the lemon juice and the vinegar is so good. And then that method of steaming the fish, look how it just flakes. Look at that. It just literally flakes apart. So delicate. It's a lovely little mouthful. And often when you're steaming fish, it's kind of, you know, possibly bland, but not this. It's full of flavour, full of texture. Classy, really classy. and the three things work so well together. Wow, what a dish. Right, superb. So, I'm going to do a beautiful dish that completely celebrates how beautiful peas are. And I've got some water on, spaghetti. And what I want to do is take about half of that, about 2 portions worth, give it a little twist, drop it in here. Lovely. Maybe a little bit more for luck. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make meatballs, right? The quickest meatballs. I'm going to make meatballs in the time it takes that pasta to cook. I've got some fantastic sausages. These are from the butcher, and look at them. I mean, they're pretty amazing. You can get any sausage you want, as long as it's good. So, you know, something like a Cumberland or a fresh Italian sausage or something like that. All you have to do is get a pan hot, which that is, have a nice drizzle of olive oil, right? And get your sausage and literally pinch it and pull it out, drop. Pinch it, pull it out, drop. Dead simple. And you don't have to sit there and sort of go, oh no, I have to roll them around and get them absolutely perfect, because, you know, life's too short, and quite frankly, I like things a bit rustic anyway. Now, sauce, tomato sauce. I've got the quickest, most delicious tomato sauce. So what you do, slice up a couple of cloves of garlic. I want to use basil. Basil, tomatoes, best friend, there's no debate there. Stalk, I want. Leaves off, stalk, I want. Leaves off. Right, you can pick out your little pretty camp leaves, which I love. Nice to sprinkle on top. The big old leaves, let's chop them up. Stalks, nothing wrong with those. Don't you dare throw them away. Waste of money. Loads of flavour in there. I'm going to put the garlic and the basil stalks into the pan. That'll start frying. Let's have a little swirly-whirly of a pasta. All right, not done. It'll be done in 2 minutes. I've got to do this in 2 minutes. Nice and golden. Garlic's going. Basil leaves. We're going to cook it so short, so that whole thing about basil at the end, absolutely true. It is almost at the end because we haven't even started yet. So give it a little toss like that. And then in with some good tinned tomatoes. Pour the juice in. Get the extra tomatoes in your hand. Scrunching. Through your finger. All I want to do is bring them to the boil. Have a little taste. A little bit more salt, a bit more pepper. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, little cheat, just a nice little blob of balsamic vinegar. That'll give it a nice little sweetness. Here we go. Lovely. And then what I'm going to do is I've got some golden oregano. You could use normal green oregano, thyme, even rosemary. Just take it off. In with the meatballs. They'll crispen up, they'll look lovely. Oregano, meat, pork, lovely. Sausages are cooked through. Pasta's now nicely cooked. I'm not going to put it with my tomato sauce. I want to do it sort of slightly more Italian in the sense of toss it with the meat and all the lovely juice and all of that sort of stuff. Straight in there. Give it a toss. And the first thing the pasta sucks up is all that lovely sort of like herbs from the oregano, the sort of lovely flavours that come out of the sausage. And then to serve it, all I'm going to do is take a nice wad of my pasta and I get my lovely tomato sauce in the middle, load it up, because as soon as anyone puts their fork anywhere near it, it's going to cover it all in it. And then don't forget your meatballs. Right, now, obviously, peas and broad beans is my day-to-day, and there's not been a single pea or broad bean go anywhere near this. But the tweak is, and I think this is completely genius, you know, you get your little peas, you crack them open, you know, pasta makes you feel happy, lovely meatball, lovely, and you got that sweet tomato sauce, and then you get these raw peas that are going through it, and they just pop, 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 sweet, really, really nice. And then just finish it with a few lovely little basil leaves, and that is a superb dinner. 10 minutes, so good.
When days are busy and you've got loads going on,
It's easy to find yourself cooking up the same old dinners. But I've got an exciting little dish that you can knock out for your friends when you've not seen them in a while, to show them just how much you love them. My mate, Gennaro's here, and a lot of his life he spent cooking for me. Now I'm going to cook for him. We're going to do a beautiful pasta dish. This meal is done and dusted in the time it takes to cook some linguine or some spaghetti. So we're doing a prawn linguine, right? That's where we're starting. So we're going to do prawns. We're going to do pancetta, so surf and turf. We're going to do a sauce with mascarpone. And, wait for it, red wine. A kiss of garlic and a little bit of pasta.
It's going to be so good that you will love to make it.
It's one of those pastas that I think everyone has got to master, because it's one of those things that just kind of hits the spot and it feels a bit posh. So, Gennaro, if you can just finely slice that into little matchsticks.
A little matchstick.
So 4 slices of pancetta. So here I've got 2 cloves of garlic that I've just finely sliced. What we'll do now, because this is a really, really quick meal, Gennaro, if you can just grab like 2 portions of pasta. So that is our timer, right? It's like 10, 11 minutes to cook the lovely linguine. Of course, you could use any pasta you've got. I quite like with linguine like a ribbon pasta, like a noodle-style pasta. Look at the way he puts it into that water. Beautiful.
Nice bit of salt.
So pasta's cooking.
Yeah.
I'll turn the pan on now, put that pancetta in the pan. I'll just kiss it with a little olive oil.
There it goes. You don't need very much. 4 thin slices, they're plenty.
So look, you can see the heat coming up in the pan, the fat's starting to render from that beautiful smoked pancetta. It already smells amazing. This is a perfect time to prep the prawns. Now, prawns we love. Everyone's buying prawns most of the time, frozen, fresh, cooked, uncooked, shell on. So I just want to show you a little preparation. About 160 grams. You don't need loads of prawns for this. So what I do, first of all, is just get the head, twist it. Most of the sweet, delicious flavour is in the head. So you can put that in there with the pancetta, right? That's where the flavour's at. Then, with this part, what I'll do is just peel off that shell. Very, very simple. And they have beautiful prawns in Italy, don't they, Gennaro?
It is the food. It comes so natural when you cook, because you cook with your heart.
I love it when you talk about food, Gennaro. Can you see how the prawn head is changing colour? So that's just a little bit of heat and it's gone orange. Now let me show you how to butterfly the prawn. Get a knife, run it very carefully down the back of the prawn, just like that. And then more than often, there's a little vein in here that you can remove. Just pull that out, and then that's butterflied, ready and raring to go. At the same time, for sweetness, deliciousness, texture and flavour, I'll take the rest of the prawns and I'll finely chop them, because it's going to stick to the linguine in the most beautiful way. One thing is for sure, and Gennaro taught me this, is you do not want to overcook prawns. They're really, really sensitive. They cook so quickly. So this is where it gets exciting. Gennaro, give those prawn heads a little squeeze. Look at the juice come out of those prawn heads. Just have a look at that.
Just a little squeeze on top. You can see, look, there we go. Oh my goodness me.
So bacon, crispy. You got the juices from the prawns, happy days. Then we're gonna go in with the garlic. Now we can kind of turn the heat of the pan up a little bit. Now let's get this party going. Gennaro, how long on that pasta?
Nearly ready. 1 more minute.
So I'll take these whole prawns and put them in that lovely fat. You can see how that little preparation with the butterflying opens the prawn out. It looks better, it takes on the flavour better, and it cooks quicker.
Really smell nice.
So I want to do a blushing prawn linguine, right? So I'm going to use some red wine, right? Which often people say white wine. But if you go to Italy, they use red wine in really creative ways. So as the pan, you can tell is hot, right? See it bubbling and sizzling. Now I'm going to go in with some nice Italian red wine. Half a glass.
Wow.
Very importantly, I do not want that to be winey. I do not want the wine to overtake the deliciousness of the prawns. So we're going to cook it away. The alcohol will go, and then you're just kind of left with the love and the care from the winemaker, the kind of flavour of like oaky, gorgeous, ripe fruits, and the sort of flavour of like barrels and love and care.
The sweetness, the love and care. You say so good.
You taught me.
No, but this is pure love, passion in a pan.
Now it's going to get exciting again, because now we go in mascarpone. Now mascarpone is a very famous Italian cheese.
Of course it is. It's a cream cheese. It's so natural, so good.
And then go in with the chopped prawns. right? They do not need that much time, right? Literally, the residual heat from the pasta will be enough to cook these. And look how the mascarpone and the wine is marbling together. Now, I will give this pan to Gennaro.
My goodness, look at that. Proper al dente. Oh,
So what Gennaro's doing now, very stylishly, is emulsifying the fat from the mascarpone and from the pancetta with the water from the cooking of the pasta. By doing that, you get this incredible kind of light, oozy pasta sauce. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan. Now, a lot of people say you should never put Parmesan
Rubbish.
with seafood. Complete rubbish. Go on, tell him, Gennaro.
it is rubbish. Why not? If you like a Parmesan, why not? It goes ever so well.
And then a nice big handful of peppery, gorgeous rocket.
Oh, there, it's ready.
Look at that. Gennaro is the chief pasta tosser. And then
There
from
we
this
go.
part of the story, just grab some lovely tongs. Look at the colour, guys. Come on. The way that that blushing sauce just sticks to the pasta. Look at the juice. Look, the juice that's coming. Yeah, go on. Juice,
I love
juice,
it.
juice. Whole prawns, whole prawns. And then it's quite nice just to finish it with just a few small rocket leaves. That, my friends, it's a dish. Surf and turf linguine. Prawn linguine with smoky pancetta, mascarpone and red wine. Enough talking, my friend. Let me just plate up. Gennaro, that's for you.
Love you.
What I really love about this is the use of the red wine.
Buon appetito.
Silky.
Oh, my God.
Wow. You know what? A lot of people would have thrown those prawn heads in the bin. You get kind of that depth of flavour like an amazing sort of seafood soup. The prawns are really sweet, aren't they, Gennaro?
They are indeed. I don't even talk. I love it.
How nice is this? Got me best mate, nice day, cooking outside, lovely little pasta dish, heavenly. I dedicate that pasta to you.
No, bless them.
Salute!
Salute, give me the more pasta.
Beautiful pasta carbonara. I'm going to get you as close to the classic technique as possible, and I'm going to give you a nice little surprise for ingredient number 5. I'm going to use penne. This one takes 10 minutes. We're going to go in with 300 grams of the pasta, and then we're going to season that with salt. Let's talk about the other classic ingredient. Fresh eggs, smoked bacon. That's what I'm going to use today. Then on to the cheese. I'm going to use Parmesan today because I think it's more accessible. Now look, as this has come to the boil, lid will come off. Let's give it a nice little stir so nothing sticks together. And let's get cooking. I'm going to start by being controversial in the sense of I'm going to add a veg. This is not classic at all. I'm going to use some lovely asparagus. Why? Because it cooks really quickly, because it's sweet and delicious, because it contrasts the salty, smoky, savoury flavours. What I would encourage you to do is to cut it to around the same size as this pasta. I'm just going to cut the asparagus stalk at a slight angle. OK, so pasta cooking. Let's start frying things. So take your bacon, and I'm just going to thinly slice it. I'm going to go into the pan with a little oil. And then we want to render the fat out of the bacon and get it nice and golden. So while that's happening, I want to do my egg sauce. Take 4 eggs, remove the yolk, leaving behind the white. So the yolk here is delicate, it's rich, and that's what's going to thicken this sauce. Save those egg whites, put them in the freezer, and that will be for another day. So now, if we look in the pan, it's getting nice and golden and crispy, and I want to give you a nice convincing amount of black pepper now, right? So about a teaspoon. Let's finish this sauce. So I'm going to take the Parmesan. A little handful is all I need. Now, just whip it up. I'm going to steal just a little bit of cooking water and just stir it in. You can see the bacon is nice and dark. We're going to go in with the asparagus. Eggs cook really quick. We do not want scrambled egg, okay? So I'm now going to turn the heat of this pan off. I'm then going to take the pasta and some of this water into this pan, and we'll go in with the penne. So you want this pan to cool down. If you put that egg sauce in there now, it would scramble. You want to just leave it for 1 minute. Then we're going to go in with the sauce, like that. And it's that residual heat that gives you the classic sauce. Look at that. Just beautiful. Silky smooth, elegant. And then to finish, just one little stroke, Parmesan on top, and one last little flourish of black pepper. Oh, look at that. Come on. The flavour is massive.